Everybody cares in the moment. Now, caring what people think has got to be one of the hardest and worst things to deal with / get over. I am personally a big victim to this myself. There was a long time where I was insecure about my YouTube because someone who I used to be friends with, who I'm not friends with, who I'll probably make a story time on at some point or a lesson out of, sent my channel to a Discord with a bunch of people I wasn't that close with. I was just kind of like acquaintances / basic school friends with them. And I know that they were making fun of my channel, right? So kind of right off the rip, I've always kind of been one of those people who's a little bit insecure about what people thought. And that's okay in retrospect. But I mean, look, I'm not going to be the guy to pull out that pink and white Frank Ocean song and then show you the does it matter and then zooms out to the whole universe. Yes, that is true. And yes, you can talk about your existence being meaningless, so do it anyway type of thing. But that's not what I'm talking about. Today, I want to kind of break that down in a kind of more realistic way. And I know that's very contradictory to the name of the channel, but I thought I'd speak on something which I kind of realize is actually just straight facts. And I realize that it becomes more and more evident each day. And that's people only care in the moment. And reason being is that if you think about it, when was the last time that something happened, like something major happened in your life where you still talk about it right now to the same level as it was talked about when it first happened? Like, if I could think about through my entire time in high school, all those situations or things or jokes or this or that, or situations where someone was copping it or whatever, right? There's maybe like one that we still bring up continuously. And really, the only reason it's brought up is because it's relevant to the person I'm speaking to them about. It's not about like, oh, fuck that guy, he's such a loser, blah, blah, blah. Like, we don't talk about that. I mean, that might just be me. Maybe there's other people out there who do care. But like, the amount of people that you probably think care, probably don't. And reason being that they only care in the moment when they see it, because it's funny or it's cringe or it's corny in the moment. But like a month later, when they haven't seen or heard anything about it and they don't see anything about it, they forget it exists. Because that's really how fast-paced our lives are. Think about it this way. When you watch like a reel or a TikTok or a YouTube short, how many of those videos do you actually remember? Like if you were to go back and go through the ones that you've liked or seen, you might remember it when you see it again, but you're not remembering that reel or video. Or at least like 99% of them. I mean, there's a couple ones I remember. Like for example, there was one by that one guy with the glasses who's like an older kind of black guy. And he does like food life hacks and tries to write recipes. He taught me the ideal way to crack an egg by like dropping it from a certain height on a flat surface. I only remember that video because I used that strategy all the time when cooking eggs. So like 1% of every fucking reel or TikTok I've ever watched was actually useful, right? Anyway, not the point. Point is, I realized this because although yes, those people were probably making fun of my YouTube and I probably copped some slack throughout my life, nobody cares now because they're not thinking about it and they're not caring. And I kind of realized this with my previous channel because when I had that viral video about, the 2-week Minecraft phase, it was like, I think it hit like 200k when they saw it. Not a single one of them, and half of them I don't even like, was hating because they couldn't hate. You can't hate on success. And I know that's kind of contradictory to the moral of this, but the point being that even if it wasn't that viral, I seriously don't think they would have cared that much. Because to them, it's so, minuscule and banal to their life that it would make zero sense for them to continuously talk about it past that in-the-moment conversation. If something's really important to someone, then they'll talk about it all the time. Or if something's really annoying someone, they'll probably mention it more often than not. However, that's not everybody. I think another way we can look at it too is if you think about celebrity scandals, when's the last celebrity scandal that you can think of that you still talk about right now and you're actively thinking about it all the time and making fun of it? I mean, like, let's look at Kanye, for example. That man has done so many outrageous things and said so many outrageous things, but people aren't remembering every single thing he said. People only remember it when he does some other stupid shit And then now everyone's like, oh yeah, he said this, this, and this. But they're not actively every day like, fuck Kanye, you know, he's such a loser, haha, can't believe he fell off so hard. But the moral of this is, there are still people who will do that. So I know that kind of just completely discredits everything that I've just said. But you kind of got to realize that a lot of people, or a majority of people, only care in the moment that something happens. Like when it's kind of a hot trending topic. And then eventually they just give up. You know, they stop caring about it. They forget about it because it's really not that important to their lives. And I feel like a good popular one right now, which I think would be a great example, is the situation going on with Biba Doobie. If you don't know, she got a bit upset that people said she couldn't sing, even though she's an amazing singer, but posted a video of NBA YoungBoy shooting lasers out of his eyes and saying the most outrageous shit. I mean, there's a clip with him actually rapping outrageously, and then there's one with him just singing like opera, which is not him. But then like she got really angry about it and pretty much just crashed out on TikTok or Instagram, whatever it was, I don't remember. But the point is, right, in the moment, people care a lot, saying, oh, fuck Biba Doobie, she's such a little pussy or whatever, right? But probably like 2, 3, 4, 5 months later, like after this current resurgence, because this was only like really recent, they will probably forget and never talk about it again. Unless she decides to do something which makes people do it again. But I mean, like, people care now because of her response. And yeah, her response, I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't the greatest thing I've ever seen. I was a bit like, okay, what are you doing here? Especially when she insulted men. Because, you know, I like Biba Doobie. So when I'm putting on Real Man, I'm kind of sitting there thinking, damn, maybe she doesn't like me. But all jokes aside, it is really important to realize that, yes, people are going to care. Like, we're not going to sit here and act like there aren't people who aren't going to make fun of it or care or continuously bring it up, because that's going to happen. But the kind of point is that like 80%, maybe more, maybe less, are just going to forget about it. Like, let's say I wanted to drop a song, or I wanted to make a vlog, and I posted it on my like personal Instagram. Maybe all the people who see it will make fun of it. Maybe all the people will like it. Maybe it's 50-50. Maybe people will never say anything to me, but flame it in the background. Point is, like a month or two later, these people probably won't ever listen to that song or see that vlog again or think about it, unless I guess it comes up in a random conversation or it randomly resurfaces. But really, they don't care. And another example, as, you know, I'm not going to sit and act like a golden boy. I can be a bit of a hater myself. There's a guy who, you know, I really don't like. For reasons, but he started this like Instagram like aesthetic, like train like this, train like me, blah blah, like Instagram vlogger shit. You know what I'm talking about? Like one of those get ready with me, Ashton Hall like face in the fucking ice bowl, doing push-ups at 4 a.m. type shit. And look, every time I see it, I get annoyed because I'm like, bro, this is so cringe. But the thing is, right, I don't actually really care. But I'm like making myself care. I'm trying to give myself a reason to get annoyed at it because I don't like the guy. But in reality, if it was anybody else doing the same thing, I would literally just be like, oh, cool, and then move on. So, you know, there is always going to be a factor if you know the person. They're probably going to care a little bit more. But the general kind of variety of people give two shits, bro. They might leave a hate comment and then fuck off. So I think it's important that you keep that kind of ideal when going about it, because really, like, only a set group of people are gonna care, man. And most of the time, if you become successful or you follow your dreams and it actually works, these people will shut the fuck up because they got nothing else going for them. You know, they're gonna be sitting in their 9 to 5 that they don't like. You know, there's nothing wrong with 9 to 5, but sitting in 9 to 5 where they don't like, or you know, they'll be complaining that they don't make this much, although they'll be complaining that all their friends are too busy because their friends are trying to lock in and improve themselves while you're out here doing this, this, and that. Because ultimately, the biggest thing holding you back is yourself. Alright, the main point I want to touch on before I close off the video is, imagine you're in like a public place, right? Like your city's capital, I don't know, the big city and wherever you live. All those people that are walking around, right? Imagine, you know, you do something embarrassing. Like you throw up on the floor, or you know, you're just drunk and acting like an idiot, and all these people are looking at you, probably laughing. Do you think any of those people are gonna remember what you did the next day, or maybe like a week later? The short answer is no. There's always going to be someone who might remember, but realistically, man, like, it's only an in the moment thing. And the important thing I want you to take away from this video is that although you and I will probably still struggle with caring what people think and you're feeling like, it might not be good enough, ultimately, it's not going to matter whether you do it or don't do it, because it's still going to get shit from somebody someday, whether or not you keep it to a close circle or you expand and show it to everyone. There's always going to be somebody who comes along and is negative about it. The only loss is not doing it for yourself, because if you don't do it and you don't pursue it and you never make anything of it, the only one you're letting down is yourself, because you never end up doing the thing you wanted to do. And that's going to hurt more than any criticism you're going to get from that one random side character that you're never going to see again. Yeah, that's right. I said side character. But look, anyway, final note for the video. Although you're probably going to walk away still caring as much as you did before you watched it, I think it's just nice to have it in the back of your mind that although, yes, we are always going to care in the moment, that's exactly what it is, a moment. It's not something you're going to be talking about years and years later. I mean, unless you do some fucked up shit like Diddy did. But let's be real. You and I are not Diddy. And we're not going to be doing some heinous shit. But anyway, that's it for today's video. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you later.